So today's video will be Thor, Love, and Thunder, and this has been one of my most anticipated Marvel movies ever since it was announced back in 2019, and I've been so excited to see it, so excited to talk about it, and I'm just very excited to talk about it with you all today. So, yeah, I'll go right in. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I'll get right into this full spoiler review to Marvel Studios' Thor, Love, and Thunder. First off, the negative. Just first off, I know there's a lot of, this isn't like part of the movie, but there's like deleted scenes from, according to Christian Bale, with Peter Dinklage as Eitri and Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, and just all these other different deleted scenes. And the movie was under 2 hours. I don't know. I just felt like it was a short movie. I can kind of see why. Like, they just wanted a smaller story with just kind of like a little Jane final story, but I don't know, I just felt like it could have been a little bit more epic. I would have loved to see all these iconic characters come into play as Gord went to kill them, and it just would have been nice to see them. This movie just felt like a little too little, I guess. And on to the mixed. First off, I just didn't really like Korg that much this movie. Liked him a lot in Ragnarok, he was hilarious. I liked him in Endgame, he was pretty good there. But in Thor: Love and Thunder, it was just like he was too much. Like Taika Waititi thought like, oh, Thor, or I'm so sorry. Thought, oh, Korg is so funny. Let's have him just make all these jokes. And some of it was funny, like him misnaming Jane by calling her Jane Fonda or Jodie Foster. Like those jokes were funny, but like with all his narrations, just all these quips and one-liners that were just like too much and went on for too long. And I didn't, like, mind him. There were just times when I'm like, Korg just isn't really that funny this one, which is sad because he had a lot of laugh-out-loud moments in the last movie. Like, in Ragnarok, he was, like, this little treat, and now in Love and Thunder, he's just always there, always cracking jokes, and it's just a little too much. And this movie is maybe a little too much joke-wise. I didn't mind it too much, but I think this leads me in my next little mixed thing. And it's just, it's good, but it's not Ragnarok. I'd say Love and Thunder has more emotion and heart, but Ragnarok, it's just, I don't know, it's got a better story, a better flow, better action, more epicness, and just better jokes, and better character dynamics. And, like, I love Ragnarok. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time, and it's just so unique, and they tried to recapture it with this one, but I think they doubled down on the wrong things. Like, they doubled down on the jokes, and the jokes aren't as funny. And they doubled down on, like, the space travel, but, like, we don't stay any place too long. And, I don't know, it's cool. Like, I like Love and Thunder, but it's just not as good as Ragnarok. And as a movie on its own, I think it's good, but as a sequel to Ragnarok, it's a little bit disappointing, I guess. But, anyway, those are just my criticisms. On to the positives. First off, I really liked the return of Jane and Jane's arc. When I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that'll be okay. But it worked out really well in this one with the cancer storyline. I thought Natalie Portman paid off a good job. And I thought she had some good jokes too. She had some pretty funny moments. And I just liked her whole story about how the hammer was kind of killing her, but she wanted to keep fighting. And it maybe felt a little rushed at times with her mom just being a quick blip in, blip out. But I really liked her death and sacrifice and final moment in Valhalla. And I thought it really worked as a final farewell to Jane. And I also thought it played well in the Thor's arc. And everyone's saying, like, oh, Thor's always trying to find himself. But I think this Thor trying to find himself is a continuation of the other films. Ragnarok, he thought he would be the king of Asgard, finally accepting that place. And then Infinity War, he lost everything. And he just tried to keep continuing that king role. But in Endgame, we saw him depressed. He didn't know what to do. But eventually he realized that he can't find himself by staying in Asgard and being king, and he needs to build himself back up by traveling space. And here we see him doing that, but the issue is, he's like, I don't really feel how I need to feel. I feel empty, filling my passion of what I thought is just fighting in battles, but he needs to find real love in his life, which is hard since he's lost everybody. So I think it's a pretty good continuation of his previous arcs, and it's definitely a little jokey at times, but I really liked how, like, the whole, his whole talk with Star-Lord about feeling, should I swear on this channel? Feeling crappy. And I thought that was a cool motivator. I liked his, like, how he and Jane just kind of fell back into it. I also like the flashbacks to their early relationship with Our Last Summer Playing. That was really good. But I liked their whole dynamic, and I liked how at the end Thor found something to live for, or not live for, but love for, I guess, by watching over Gorr's daughter, Love. And I kind of like that arc for him. Like, he's found something to take care of, and like, we've seen Thor with a family, and a brother, and a love interest, but we've never kind of seen Thor in like a parental role. And this is kind of what he needs to get him back in his track, and just him traveling the universe, helping people with a kind of daughter to take care of. I like that for Thor. I thought Gorr the God Butcher was a pretty terrifying villain. Maybe not enough screen time, but honestly, he was fine. He was scary, but the moments where he was like kind of having a high-pitched voice and kind of like being scary funny, I really liked. And I liked at the end he decided not to kill all the gods, but instead to save his daughter. And I wish we'd seen him killing more gods, once again deleting scenes, but I think overall he worked. I liked seeing more Valkyrie. I thought she worked pretty well in this movie. I loved seeing the Guardians again. They had a short but sweet role. I'm so excited for Guardians 3. I thought the use of music was pretty good. I don't think the original score was a good score. It's not as good as Ragnarok's, but still pretty good. I like the epicness. I liked some of the action, especially the fight in Omnipotent City. I thought that whole sequence was fun. Russell Crowe was kind of funny as Zeus. I'm excited to see Brett Goldstein as Hercules. And I just thought this movie had a lot of emotion with the whole Jane and Thor storyline, which I really loved and I really thought worked. And I know I've been kind of trashing this movie a lot, but I still really, really, really do enjoy it. It's a fun Marvel adventure, and it's just nice to see what's everyone gotten up to since Endgame. I know a lot of people are saying that Phase 4 is directionless, but I think we're building to it. We're building to that next thing. But for now, we're introducing some new heroes like Miss Marvel and Echo and Moon Knight, but we're also kind of continuing the stories of some older heroes, like what happened to Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Wanda and Vision and Falcon. What's happened to them since Endgame, and how are we going to see these transitions into their next stories? And I've liked that, and Thor: Love and Thunder adds on to that. So, what's not as good as Ragnarok in quite a few ways, and I wish it was a little bit longer, I still think Thor and Love and Thunder is a heartfelt and emotional movie with great cast from its performances. Of course, it's amazing seeing Thor, and I thought Jane's story was great. And the score is maybe a little bit high based on how I've been trashing it at points, but honestly, I love this movie. It's got heart, it's energetic. I just love seeing Thor again. It's not as good as Ragnarok, but still pretty darn good. So I'd give Thor: Love and Thunder a 9 out of 10. I hope you guys liked the review, and I'll see you all for the Miss Marvel finale soon. Hope you guys liked the video. See you all. Bye-bye.